What's up, guys? It is Monday, October 3rd, 4:43 p.m., and I'm finally back and excited to do this market update. It's been a while. So, a lot of things been happening. We got the 10-year yields for the bonds dropping immensely. Like it's down like, let's see, 5% today. These type of moves, like that, you don't see them in the bond market. But what happened was, remember that channel that we've been tracking? So we've been tracking this channel like this. And we had said nothing's going to happen until it decides to break out, whatever side it is. And we actually broke out to the upside. So since August 5th, for straight up 2 months, we've been just ping ponging back and forth, a steady incline. And then we shot up here with the Federal Reserve meeting, and then we shot back down into the channel. And what happened just now was we broke down from the channel now. So we had to fake out to the upside back into the channel to break down. And what we need to watch out for now is if this is a fake breakdown to the downside, and then we just come back up in the channel and do something like that. But this could be a real breakdown. And if bond yields come down, that's pretty bullish for crypto, stock market, etc. You can see with the bond yields down, plus the dollar down, cryptos, the stock market's up like 3% across the board today for all the indices. You have silver up 10% today. So like what's happening now is mega bullish for these assets that we've been holding. So let's try to zoom out and see if we could call this the top. And today, the United Nations called on all the world's governments and central banks to stop raising interest rates because it's going to cause a straight up like global depression. So on top of the UK kind of reversing course, and now they're doing quantitative easing to whatever max there is. It's limitless. So unlimited QE out of the UK, plus the United Nations saying other nations to ease back on the raising interest rates. And then I think Japan is doing QE as well too. So we're seeing a lot of kind of pullback from what the Federal Reserve has been doing and to now reverse course. And that's highly bullish. So let's go to the daily chart. We can see the daily chart, stock RSI's curling down aggressively. The MACD's curling down, RSI's coming down, this pink's coming down. Let's look at the 12-hour because I believe we're about to see the blue go through the pink. Last time the blue went through the pink was significantly was back here, and we went into a downtrend, and then back here downtrend. So like we could probably go out on a limb and say this is a downtrend now. So where we'd want to break down through is like the 3.5% level, because that was that previous high over here. And if we can break down through that, we'll break through the moving average here, and that will be great. And we're seeing a lot of selling pressure, and this is poking through down to the bearish territory, where when we get down below it, now we can say that, hey, now we're going to go in a downtrend. So this is great. This is what we want to see. Let me go to a weekly chart real quick, and we can see that this is kind of curling back. We just need to see this continue the rest of the week. If we can see this continue the rest of the week, then we'll be A-okay. The dollar. Oh, one thing too is you can see on the 4-hour chart, that channel that we're in, we're holding the EMA ribbon on the 4-hour to a T. We just broke through it. Last time we were holding like the EMA ribbon to a T and we broke through it. This was like a fake out, but you can see that it leads to sell-offs. So like back here when we broke down, all right, led to a sell-off. So like this is likely going to lead to a sell-off. And then by breaking the 3.5 to like 3.4% level, that will be the nail in the coffin. So now let's go to the dollar, and let's go to the 4-hour chart. So just like the bond yields, 4-hour chart, when we're holding the EMA ribbon, On the 4 hour, we're bullish. When we break down below it, we go into a downtrend. So bullish, downtrend. So same kind of thing happened with the dollar as the bond yields, because we had this channel. This actually hit perfectly off of it like that. And if I zoom out a little bit, 12-hour chart. So we had that channel like this, and then we have this channel like that. And that's where we're at. So like we just keep ping ponging back and forth. This was the top. You can see by the MACD crossing down, stock RSI, now the blues crossing up through. So we're going to pull back here. And you can see that we're already breaking down past this low. So like we're going to go into a downtrend, and it's likely we're going to retest like 109.5, 110. And at that point, it's like, all right, are we really going to break down hard there? Because that's where, if we go on the daily chart, like the daily chart is the equivalent for the bond yields 4-hour chart. You can see the daily chart. We just been holding this EMA ribbon as support. And now we're going to come back down to retest it again. And I believe that this is the time where we break through it. We're going to break through it, and it's likely we'll come down maybe 5 to 10% in the dollar. Yeah, like 5 to 10%. And at that point, we'll probably be retesting these highs back here. And that's going to be the point where it's like, all right, are we going to go into a mega downtrend? So like this will likely come down. We'll break down like that. And it's at that point where, are we going to go into a mega downtrend for the dollar and just everything's going to go hyper parabolic? Or are we going to form this base here on top of these highs and then continue the rally? So it's like a bigger, like kind of parabola forming here like that, right? So that's what we're going to have to watch. But it's likely if we come down to here, we'd pull up, maybe like a retest of like try to get back up here. It'll be volatile. It's not probably going to be a straight shoot down, but like we'll pull down like that. And that's going to, a 5 to 10% dump in the dollar is going to cause cryptos to get out of the woods here for sure. And then we'll probably rise back up, and then the cryptos will cool off a bit. And then we'll really go into our downtrend like that. And where the dollar is pulling down like 20, 30%, 15 to 20%. And maybe it's like actually we're going into the sustained downtrend that we've been expecting, where we really pull down here. And then we could be talking 30 to 50%. And then cryptos are mooning at that point. But yeah, that's what we're watching, guys. That's what we got to be kind of paying attention to. And if we go to the weekly chart, you can see that we're on the third point of this hidden bearish divergence, where we had a lower high, and now the third lower high. Usually it takes 3 times for this to play out. Then you have a higher high, and then the third higher high. And you can see that whenever we hit our top in the dollar, we really overextend, and then we pull down, and then we break the trend line like that. So that's going to be our tell. If we break this trend line and we come down and we break through 109, then we know that, all right, the top of the dollar is likely in. We're going to pull down and then probably range and then really head down here. But yeah, you can see that being the case, where like this topping structure for the RSI was like kind of just like rising like that. And then we broke down just like this, kind of rising like that. And then if we break down, it's game on. So like this is what we're watching. And that's on the weekly chart. That's a high time frame. And then if I pull up the signals too, what's giving me a lot of confidence into that this is the top. If we go to the long term, and then this is the dollar. So I just got to turn this off. All right. So we can see that the dollar 1 week chart, there was a sell warning and sell now back there. Let me go to the 10-day. So we have a 10-day sell warning. 10-day sell warning with a short entry coming in. Just like back here, this is what we've been watching. So just like in like the middle of this uptrend, and then we like that's equivalent to this point right here before we just shot up for our last kind of parabolic rally. That's the same right here. So like You can see that where we got those signals right here is the same as right here. And we just went to our last parabolic like rally. And now what's going to happen is we're going to get our sell now pretty soon, maybe in 4 days, because this is reading at 112, but the dollar's at 111. So like this is a sign that we're losing a lot of momentum. And as you can see here, usually we're tracking it for 3 and we have 1, 2, and now we're doing our third and then we pull down. So with those sell warnings in there, stock RSI is really losing momentum. We're close to just crossing down and going like that. Same with the MACD and the RSI being at overbought levels that we were back over here too. It's likely the dollar top is in and we're going to really get out of the woods here. It's been too quiet with crypto, but I believe this is the week that things change. So 2-week chart. 2-week chart, we have the sell warnings, same thing in the middle. Just like back here, we have our last top, and then we sell off. So like now if I remove that, let me actually go to the 3-week chart and the monthly. 3-week, see? Like these cycles are just so crazy. Like even calling the bottom to a T, like where these greens came in, like just like there, and then we have our last bottom and then we go up with the blue, green, last bottom, go up with the blue, right? And then so basically what I believe is we're mimicking this to a T. Like even if I grab the bars pattern and go like that and then I put it up to here, you can see that it's been very much on par. It's been on par even with the time as well too. So like you can just see how that's been playing it to a T. So now we're at that final point where it's like, and I can even measure the time too, where like we broke up here. It was about 25% and 250 days. Just like here, let's just say. Well, actually it'd probably be back here a little more when we got above. So like right here. So we're at 25% and it's just kind of been a longer elongated cycle, 385 days. So 25% was the rally back here. So like from this point to here, 25%. And then from here to here, around 25%. So just more signs showing us that that's the top. And you can see how this has been tracking it to a T. So yeah, by November, we really should be in a sustained downtrend with the dollar. And maybe the Fed pivots or something like that, and that's the news. But yeah, you can even see with the MACD, this is very bearish pattern. You have that high, lower high, lower high, and that's like a head and shoulders playing out right there. And you pull down like that. And then we have higher high like that. So that's what is to be expected. We're going to pull down like that to like 105, 106. And then if I pull this from here to here, yeah, we would want to break through the 106, 107 level. 106, 107 would get us through that daily. And then we'd really come down fast to like 103, 105, like we were saying these previous tops over here. So yeah, everything's lining up. Now let's go to the total crypto market cap. And we can see on the weekly chart, we're still hugging the red moving average here, just like back here. We did our second bottom, our higher low. And now we're in this channel or this kind of like wedge like that. And like we're going to see a breakout like within the next 7 to 10 days. You can see that. And now I'll go to like a daily chart and it's just so crazy. Like like I just draw just like shapes and they work out. Like if I even put a vertical line here from this and the left tells what's going to happen on the right, we can kind of get a time frame here. So this is around 57 days. And then from here to here, would you look at that? 50 days. So 57 days is right here, October 10th, right at the end of this, where we'll likely see what happens on the left happens on the right. And let me actually just put that right there. And I'm going to grab this and then I'm going to flip it like that. And that's what's likely to occur to a T. And I wouldn't say that this pop up to going down is going to happen, but like I would say a sharp rise like that is what's in the cards, kind of like back here, just like right back up to this level over here by maybe October 18th, October 22nd. That's what's it's really shaping up to. And let's look at the 12-hour chart, getting a cross up on the stock RSI. MACD was about to flip bearish, but now we have a green volume coming in. RSI is about to flip this 50 level where we can get into bullish territory, because when we're above it, you can see that price action is bullish. When we're below it, we're bearish. And then the blue's crossing down here, pink's trying to cross up. It's all good. Let's go to the daily chart. So now the stock RSI is crossing back up. MACD's having a nice another green print right there. And we're making our way towards this 50 line to flip bullish in the bigger trend, because you can see this whole time when we're below, we're bearish. But then when we get above, we're bullish. When we get below, we're bearish again, right? This whole time period. So just like here to here, all bearish, you can see it. But as soon as we got above, held that support, now we're starting to flip bullish and we're now in an uptrend. We got back down below it. All right, downtrend. Now we're looking to get above it here, maybe in the next couple of days, uptrend, right? So that's how it works. Now let's go to the total 3. This is every other crypto besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let's go to the 3-day chart. 3-day chart, crossing up with the stock RSI. MACD was crossing down, but now we're getting some green momentum in here. The RSI was looking like it was going to cross down, and we're just going to put in another lower high like that. But you can see that we're starting to like form this kind of turning wave of events here, like a cup on the tops and the bottoms. So that's what's happening over here. Kind of something similar to when we found our top here, we came down hard. Same similar kind of structure to top, came down hard. And this was the COVID crash. And this was definitely comparable to a COVID crash. We'll call it the Duquan Luna crash, Black Swan. And then it's a boring sideways period. This one was on an incline, but this one's been just sideways. And then as soon as we get to that green right here, the moving average, we're going to break up above it. And then we'll likely go to like this 200-day moving average, because that's what happened back here. We went right up to the 200-day moving average. We messed around in that area. So like we'll probably go like this, mess around, and then we'll shoot up, mess around, shoot up, right? And then by January, we could be back up at these all-time highs as far as all the other cryptos go besides Bitcoin and Ethereum. This can really turn around fast, guys, especially if the dollar is crashing hard and stuff. So this is Bitcoin dominance. We're on the 3-day chart now. We're seeing momentum, stock RSI crossing up. Well, first of all, long entry, right? So this called buy warnings, buy now right back here. So like Bitcoin dominance, Bitcoin's in control for the moment. And we're seeing the pink cross above, RSI get above. So like Bitcoin might lead the show as far as like, because Bitcoin's been relatively quiet. So maybe Bitcoin leads by going up 10, 20% in a couple of days, and altcoins don't go up as fast. But then once Bitcoin cools off, then altcoins catch up. But yeah, like the 5-day buy now is flashing. 5-day buy now flash here, but it was only like 7 or 10 days until it came back down. Same over here until it came back down. And then like other times it's called it, like here was like the true bottom. But there's been times like when this March of 2017 sell-off in Bitcoin dominance came and all the altcoins were popping off heavy, like there was a lot of 5-day buy nows on this way down. So like that's why we'll have to go out to a weekly. and we can see we have a buy warning, but no buy now yet. So, and we're flipped the EMA ribbon. So like it's red. So like if we keep getting rejected here, and we get rejected at this point around like 42.5%, and we start rolling over again, then it's time for alt season. And let me just go to the monthly chart, because I believe on the monthly chart, we're crossing down, but we started to hold right here. So like, that's something that we want to keep crossing down on. Same with here. Let me go to the 2 week. It's going to be a very telling month. That's for sure. 2 week chart. Stock RSI is crossed down, but it's looking to cross up. We're crossing down on the MACD, but now we're getting a little push up here. Hopefully it's something like this where it's just like a minor push up and then we come down. But until like the stock RSI crosses through this 20 line, there's no reason to get back into Bitcoin, because we could stay down under these levels for a while. Because once we got down under these levels, like that's where this sell-off happens. So, and we're below the 50 line on the RSI. So that's what we'll be watching. Others dominance, we'll take this low to this high, and others dominance could come down a little more here, maybe like 1%, but that doesn't mean that the prices will fall. We can go to this trend line. So like we have this trend line as support, so support, and then this trend line as resistance, like that. There was a fake breakout here. So like we're just going to keep going and ping ponging through this till we either retest down here or until we break up to the upside here. But there's a lot of resistance here. So like as soon as we clear back above 13 or 14%, it's game on. We can get back above here, hold as support, then we're going to really fly with altcoins. But for now, it's a downtrend, especially with Bitcoin dominance having a buy signal. Yeah, we want to see on the 3-day chart more momentum to the upside, just like with the MACD. So Bitcoin might be in control for a bit. That doesn't mean some select altcoins will outperform Bitcoin, but that's where we'd want to be. So if XRP against Bitcoin looks mega bullish, but Bitcoin dominance is breaking out, then it's likely Bitcoin's leading the show, but XRP is like an anomaly that's like outperforming it, even though it shouldn't be, right? Which means that it's very strong. So this is Bitcoin chart. So we have this top for a trend line. We came down to it, rejected at first, got above support, broke down below, rejected, came back, rejected, and now we're getting close to that trend line again. So that's why we're saying October 10th, because like October 10th is like right here where like we're likely going to come up to it, retest it right here. And I think this is the time where we actually break out. So 1-day chart, we can see, yep, that coming up. You see the RSI getting ready to be broken through. The pink is gearing up here. And then if we go to the 12-hour chart, it's already above the 50 line on the RSI. MACD is about to get above the 0 line here, which is huge. And then the TSI as well too, because when we get above the 0 line, we have rallies. So that's all good. And we had a long entry back here as well. And yeah, the long entry was over here around like 18,000. So if we can get above 20,000 and hold as support, then we're in a great position. And then it's all about getting above like 20,500 to 22,000. We can get above that. So like maybe it'll be something like this. We get above, get rejected, support, come up, support, and then we can get back to like 24. And at that point, it's like, all right, is this going to be a retracement back perfect to there? And then we're going to come back down, or are we ready to really break up here, come like that? And then we would be heading up to like 30K to retest these levels. And some coins have already done it. XRP's done it. Quant's done it, you know? So like this is maybe what's next in line for Bitcoin to happen. You can see the similarities too from like the EMA ribbon to back here. If we're going to fall lower, right? Like a lot of people still calling for 10 to 14K, we would at least pop up to here first and then come back down. Cause like we had this same EMA ribbon like that. We flip bullish for a sec, get rejected by the red, and then we pull back down. Red EMA ribbon, we'll flip green for a sec, pop up to here. And if we're going to head down more, we'd get rejected here and then come down. But we're not in that phase yet to make that decision. We're in the pop-up phase. So that's what we're preparing for. And you can see that this like bottoming out pattern over here. So like this, let me actually just grab that. It's very similar where we had down, down, up, down, pop up, just like down, up, down, down. And then this pulled back down hard like that, whereas this kept going up. But then they truly just find each other at the end of the day, where we come back down here like this, come up, one last rejection to a low. And this was a scary low. I was looking at it and it's like, damn, we were hanging out for a while below resistance that was support. Like we were hanging out down at these wicks. Like we're crazy for saying that I was going to bounce out of here, but like that's what's going to happen, because like there was nothing here, nothing, but like we're trading there for a very long time, and the dollar was rising a ton, the bond yields were rising a ton. It seemed like everything was going to collapse with the Federal Reserve meeting, but we still held there. So like we're showing a lot of strength even with the strong dollar. So when the dollar pulls down hard, it's going to just catapult crypto. So like that's what we're seeing here. So what's next is us getting to above the 20,500 to 21,500. If we get above there, then we're going to come up, retest like 26, 28, or even potentially 33. So like 28,000 to 33,000. That's where we're going to retest. We need to break above it, hold that support and get back above 30K, because that's that key level back here, right? 30K, 30 to 33K. Is that key zone that if we can get back above, hold that support, then we're on our way. We'll retest 50,000, no problem. So that's what's next in the cards. So Ethereum, I'm going to go to a weekly chart. So we're hanging out on that red moving average, which is good, because if this was able to extend like that, it would serve as like that level that once we break down below, then we're bearish, because like we broke down, would have broken down below it here and then got rejected by it. And then when we got above, held as support, we went bullish, and now we're still holding it as support. So that's great. So we're maintaining the overall macro bullish structure. So it's likely we're going to ping pong. You can see the convergence, and then we break up here to like 3,500, back down to like 2,400, and then we can make our way like that. You can see the trend line like this. That's why that $2,500 level is key to get above for us to retest 3,500, because we have that green moving average here that when we broke down below, rejected, we went down. And then when we get above, hold that support, we're bullish. So like that's what I foresee happening there. I don't think Ethereum's as strong as everybody thinks it's going to be, though. It already has a lot of market cap. There's like 2 validators validating the network. There's a lot of more like kind of trash talk on Ethereum now, and there's a lot of shift of focus to other coins. So I don't think Ethereum's going to be one of the best performers anymore, but like as far as bottoming out, it definitely seems like it, because this is what you usually see. You have this low, you come back down, retest that low, and then you have a nice strong green candle bullish engulfing to just get us on out of there, and then we'll likely retest here. So we have the short-term trend line coming down like that we got to get above. So like from like 1,500 to 2,000, if we can get above that, then we have like 2,200 to 2,500 that we got to get above. And then if we can get above that, then we're going to go to 3,500 and then probably retest some of these levels back here. But I would say the biggest thing to get above for Ethereum is like 2,500, because that's that level that we had like a parabolic top on, we broke back down, rejected, got above, support. When we broke below it, that's when we really went down into our sell-off. So like that's the level. So 2,500 as well as like 1,800 as well right there too, because rejected, support, rejected. And now that's likely the next area where we'll test. Then we got XRP, and we'll go to a 12-hour chart. So right now we are hanging out above the EMA ribbon still, which is all good. With the 12-hour chart for XRP, we got to be above that EMA ribbon and hold it as support, because every single time we're bullish when that's the case, and when we break below it, it's no good. So that's good as far as that goes. The key is we don't want to break this green moving average at the end of the day. If we break that, then it's likely we're going to retest down at these levels. So that green moving average is sitting now as support at 42 cents, a very key support, because we can put this horizontal line there now, and we can stretch this back, and I'll make it white so we can see it better. So like that. And then I'll go to a higher time frame so we can see how key it is. Oh, I got to get on a different chart. There we go. So let me put that line back, 42 cents. So like that's such a key line, because you can see that 42 cents level is where we had our rejection point after our 80x in 80 days. It was the point that when we broke through, we went 13x in 30 days. When we had our bear market or our bull market top come in, the bear market start, that's the level that we pulled down as support and bounced from. And then we bounced, we broke below, and then we got above support, and then we broke below, rejected this whole time, right? And then we got above it over here, November 2020, and then we were holding as support. Then the SEC lawsuit came in. We broke down below it. And then when we got above it, we flipped back to bullish support. That's when we broke out. And then we came down. We didn't touch that level, but we got close. And then when we broke down here, that was that level that we were kind of like messing around with. We broke down, rejected, and then we just got above, and now we're holding as support. So like you can see how many times we've touched it and either held as support or rejected, and how that gave us the future direction of the trend. And this has been for 5 years. This level has been so crucial. So that's why, like, if we hold 42 cents, which we have been, then we're extremely bullish. So like we can see that we've held it right there for like around 44 cents, to be honest. And that was that level of support here. And then, so like the next key level, as I said in my other video, is that 56 cents to 57 cent level. Like we wicked up to it very quick that day or the day after, and got rejected hard. And you can see why, because on the 5-day, you have the moving averages right there. And then you also have key horizontal support as well too, where you have the initial sell-off of support, bounce, then we came down to 42 cents, came back up, support, broke down, bounce. We got above, rejected with the bodies from that level, rejected. When we broke above it with force, we went off. So like that's our next level, like 56 cents. And then you can see that's where we held support in this sell-off from May. So we can get above that and flip it to support. That's like Bitcoin breaking above $33,000 and flipping it to support. So we flip 56 cents to support, and then we break above that high and break above like 67 to 70 cents, then we're easily going up to retest like $1 around there. Yep. Like $1.10. And we can then mark these levels. So like 72 or 70 cents right there. That was that level we broke up. Support, rejection, support, rejection, support. When we broke down from here, we really fell off. So like that's the key. 56 cents, then like 71, 72 cents, we break above that, hold as support. Then it's likely we're retracing this whole move. And this from here to here went back up to retest like the 786, 702. So then we could say this fall down. So this down to here retested the 786. But there's been nothing since this point that has retested the 786. So now if I grab this low to that high, that brings us to around $1. And that's what I'm seeing here. So like that's where we would go to quickly. So like $1.98 to $1.03, like that's that level that if we break above and hold that support, then we're going to all-time highs. Like we're going to $3.66 after getting through the final boss here, which would be like $1.44. $1.44 to like $1.75. That would be the last level. So like it would be 56 cents to 72 cents to $1 to $1.44 to the all-time high back here, then to full price discovery. We have $17, $85, $230. Not out of the realm here. Like let's just say this is it, right? That could get that move. We have the initial move bringing us up to $3.66 and then $17. And then eventually in like August of 2023, around $100. So like what happened in the past can easily happen again in the future, especially with so much more traction. And like, this is what XRP does. It builds a huge long base sideways for years. And then once it breaks out, bam, it goes like that. And this was like 3 or 4 years of building a base, and we went up a ton. And we've been building a base for like 5 years. Like that. So now we're getting close to the end, and this is what's going to happen. Like this is the time. Then if I look at a couple other things like the weekly chart, that 50-cent level is so key, 50 cents to 60 cents. We have that right there. So like we need to get above that because we want to save this from crossing down. And that's what I believe is going to happen. We're going to have a price rally up hard here. So it does save this from crossing down and maybe just like goes like that. And then we start making our way up. But we can see on the 2-week chart and the 10-day, some key things happening. So 10-day chart, stock RSI crossing up with momentum, like hard. TSI crossed, MACD green. The blue here looks like it's breaking down, making a lower low from these points. Like that, doing a head and shoulders, while the pink is trying to fight through the green to get above. And then we have the RSI getting close to breaking up through this 50 line, which this whole time when we're above the 50 line, you can see that. And when we get rejected by it, that's when we're extremely bearish. But when we get above it, you have these moves happen like that. And then it stayed above as support here. So we're still bullish. Then we went up like that. And then when we broke below it, this whole time, bear market, bear market, bear market, we broke above it here in July of 2020. Finally, we're changing trend. We held support, broke up, went up 3x. We poked our head through here with SC lawsuit, but got back above, went up, went like 10x in 80 days. Then when we broke, we were holding support, but then back here, we broke below, and that was a break of the trend here from this triangle. And we broke down, got rejected by it, came down, rejected by it again, and went down. And that's because the RSI was below. But now we're getting close to here. We're getting close. This candle closes in 4 days. So like if we can pop our head through here, it's on. Like we're going to that dollar mark. Then I shared something on Twitter. You can see it in the Discord where there's like similar fractal patterns. And I'll see if I can pull it up. So this is the third. Let's look at the daily chart because this is where we're at, like around 48 cents right now. But then look at the 2-hour chart because this is what's happening in here. And then what's happening on the 2-hour chart, like what's happening here is what's happening right here, right? And it's such similar patterns. What XRP always does is it will coil up into like a triangle. It will have a fake breakout. It will break back down. It will get rejected from that trend line down. And then we'll come down, we'll retest these lows. We'll have a fake rally and we'll break back down again for our low. But we'll have a low. We'll come up here and do a bear flag, come back down for our true low. So this is a 30-minute chart. And that's what's happening right here around the 48 cents, 55 cent level. Similar pattern right here. You have your sharp rise to your like consolidation to like a triangle. You break down, you go sideways with a fake rally, and then you break down again. You break down sideways, fake rally, break down again. You have your kind of flag right here. You break down for your final low, flag right here, break down, final low. You pop back up to reach that level again, pop back up, reach that level again, pop back up, reach that level again. And then you retest these lows, making a higher low for one time, and then you shoot up. And then, so this went from that low, pop back up to there, higher low right here for the second time, and then you shoot up. So this is a daily chart where this shot up to, like, we're still in the midst of it, right? We should be breaking back above this point right here before we sold off, which would be an equivalent of like right here around 78 cents to 90 cents. We would wick up to like $1. We'd wick up to $1 and then we'd find support around like 68 to 72 cents. That's what I'm seeing happen. And that's what these fractals are showing. Even on the 2-hour chart, you have that triangle, just like that triangle. You break down, retest the low, you go sideways. And then, so triangle, break down, retest the low, you go sideways, you break down for your flag and then your final low. Triangle, break down, retest the lows, sideways, break down, flag, break down, real low, come up to retest that flag, come up to retest that flag, break back down for a second low, break back down for a second low, and then you go and you get back above that point and you retest like here, which would be equivalent to here, or I'm sorry, here, and then you would come back down to find support on here. So like even on the 2-hour chart, the 30-minute chart, the 5-minute chart, the 1 day, like what these charts, the micro is telling us about the macro pattern is that we should hit $1 to $1.15 and pull back down to get support by like 76 or like 68 cents to 72 cents. That's what I'm seeing here until we see these high time frame momentum indicators cross down. That's the plan. That's the course of action. So let's check the 2-week chart real quick. So 2-week chart, heavy momentum. This closes in 6 days. So like what we're seeing here is a stock RSI crossing up through the 50 line. That's huge because with the stock RSI crossing up through the 50 line, you can see when we did that, bam, when we did that, bam, like it always leads to price rise. So like if this is the true one that we're waiting on, then like this is giving us a lot of momentum to do it. You can see the MACD is right about to cross as well too. You have the RSI line right here that we're getting close to getting above it. So like we just need to see XRP keep this bullish, the strong momentum to the upside, and all these indicators will cross up. And then I'm going to go to the monthly chart because we just had the monthly close and like that key level 48.50 cents. That's what has held us down into this bear market. So rejection, got above, support, broke down, rejected. And now if we get above that level and hold, we're bullish again, baby. So like, let's get there. So now we got XRP dominance. I saw something big happening on here. It's that on the weekly chart, we have not flipped this EMA ribbon bullish in a very long time. Now we finally got the EMA ribbon cross through this green one and we're getting ready to flip bullish. Last time we flipped bearish was here before we went in May 2019, before we just went in a huge downtrend. Last time we flipped bearish, huge downtrend, but when we flip bullish, that's when we go. We're right here at that point. We're flipping bullish. We're about to go. And the RSI is above this 50 line. Like you can see the last times that we're at these levels was, so like we're currently sitting here, which is a level that we haven't seen since this bull market top over here, January 2015, March 2017, all this over here, this up here. So like right, and then this up here. So like, we just need to see this momentum keep on going because like we're at a point where like, all right, tops come in, but not until we see stock RSI cross down. So that's what we need to keep an eye on. We just need to see like something happen this week. And then we have the TSI crossing through to levels that like once it crosses above, we're bullish again. Like right This whole time when we cross down below, bearish this whole time. We cross above, bam, we go. Because keep in mind, this is a weekly chart, so it's a high time frame. And then bullish we go, bam. We cross down below, bearish. Above, bullish. Above, bullish. Bearish, bearish, bearish. Rejected here. Rejected, rejected. Now we're getting a clean cross through. Like we're there. The pink's above the blue. The pink's above the 50 line. The blue's going down into this down here. Last time these things happened was this moment, right? Like we would be equivalent to like here, right? So like this is where we're at. We just need to see the follow through. Then let's go to the 2-week chart. And the 2-week chart closes 6 days. And like we're above this EMA ribbon right now. Like, so I want to see us maintain there and then continue to rise, because like we could just be at this phase where like we're getting hung up for a bit and then we go on one more rally, because like where we're seeing this, so like we're at a point where rejected. So like for us to really just go mega bullish here is getting above this level, because that's when March 2017 we went up a ton, and then back here we went up a ton. So this is like the decider here. Like this is what's going to show us like if we're going to do this or not. And keep in mind too, above the green moving average, below the green moving average, and now we're above. And stock RSI crossing up, TSI is crossing up. All the signs are there. So that's what I see right there. And then there was one thing that I found interesting. Oh, this is huge. So I'm going to leave it at this. Let me pull this up. So I was looking at the XRP USD chart on the weekly. And what I saw was that between each big microcycle before the boom, so like there was 44 days each for the microcycle. Remember the power of threes too? So like you had 444 days of a top to the next top, where you had another 444 days to the top to like the change of the cycle. So like top to bottom to top, change a cycle, top to bottom to top, change a cycle to then bottom. And then for the boom, it was 333 days. So 444 days, 444 days, 444 days, and then 333 days, boom. Like we went up thousands, tens of thousands of percent. Then we went into this new phase of the cycle. So like what happened back here was what's happening now, but everything is elongated because we're building a bigger base. And I found that it was 880 days between each big microcycle before the boom. So 880 days from this top to this bottom where we changed trend, from this bottom to this bottom where we're at, it's been 888 days. Now that we're starting to see like this buy signal come in and like us really rise in price here, what I believe is going to happen is we're at the precipice of the boom, and it's going to be at a 2x multiple of the last boom. So 666 days until the last leg of the boom, which brings us out to July of 2024 is probably when we'll see that $1,000 price point for XRP, or $100 to $1,000. But we begin this boom now, and that could bring us up to around $7 to $20 to $40 by, I think it was like $7 by like end of November. And then by like January or March 2023, it was like $20 to $40. I can't really see these dates down here because I took this as a screenshot, but this is what this cycle analysis is showing me. So we'll have to see if it plays out. But yeah, so let's look at actually one more update, the 12-day chart on XRP, because that's what that signal was before it went crazy. So this is what we're seeing. We have our buy warnings. It's a 12-day chart. Every candle consists of 12 days. Last time we got these buy warnings was March of 2007, February 2017, right before we went up 80x in 80 days. And then we consolidated for like 4 months and then went up 13x in like 21 days. So like from this point to up here is like around 54,000%. So let's just say, 54,000% is around like $17. But where we're at right now is like the buy now came in right before we went up from like 0.01 cent to 0.08 cents. So that's at 8x. So like this candle closes in today, 2 hours and 20 minutes. And what do we got here? We have a stock RSI cross up. We have a MACD cross, and we're going to get a TSI cross too. Those are the parameters that are needed to flash the vertical blue line. So it's likely this next candle that's going to flash is our vertical blue buy now signal. What follows after is 12, 24, 36, 48, 60 days, 72 days until we've reached our top, which was from that point to this point, 80x in 72 days. So like we're wrapping up. It's, you know, we got our signals a little bit early, but because like this had our signal, then we just went. But remember, this cycle is playing out more elongated. So maybe it's like 90 days or 100 days to go like 80x. So from these signals, let's go like 100 days. It would be like the middle of October to end of October, maybe something around there. Or maybe let's just say 160 days to double it. That would show us like the end of November. And it's perfect timing. ISO Big Bang. You have Flare Spark token launching. Like a lot of events that and narratives and things that could happen to have this actually happen. You know, this, I'm just going off what the signals are saying and what the past has said, but there's a lot of events and narratives that are lining up to actually, for this to really be the time. We've been waiting a long time for it, but like we're right there. So like 12-day chart, you can see just like this trend of rejection. And like this time we're breaking up through it with force. This MACD hasn't had this much like momentum, like even getting this high right now, like in the MACD volume. Oh, like right over here. I mean, like back since October of 2021. So it's been a full year, but like we have like the potential to be doing something like this. So like we're not even close to what could result. Even like March of 2017, like we had a couple of these like rising slowly and then we just went crazy. So it could be a very good, you know, rest of the year where if something like this happens, we're easily hitting those levels. So this, with this candle closing, it looks like we're going to close above the red moving average, the 200 moving average, which has served as support and a good like bear market, like bottom support level. When we're below this level, like we haven't seen us below this level since like the COVID crash and then the SEC lawsuit crash. So this was a crazy opportunity to buy. That's why I went all in. Like I've wrote you guys an email saying that the time is now, like it's time. And we saw XRP be the top performer. And I believe that's still going to be the case. So like with this candle closing here, that's our key support, 42 cents. Like that's where that line is. Like that's the fair market price. If we were to say XRP should be at 42 cents, there was no reason for it to be at 31 cents. That's for sure. But now if we can flip those levels that we're talking about, we're golden. And if we get above that 76 cents level and then hold that support, we're really gonna be shooting on out of there. And then we can see that with this trend line, that brings us to that 72 cent level as well too. So very key. Ooh. And then we see this trend line like that of support. This was a COVID crash, so we went very deviated. Support. And you can see that, and this is what we've been following for a while, was that from this low to this high, we reach close to the 786, but like the 702 basically. Then, and this was that Elliott wave of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have your ABC correction back down to the 2. Then we can pull from that low, the SEC lawsuit, to this high, And we can see where we touch down at the 786 support. And now we're breaking out from it. So this is real. Like that was the bottom, because we had our 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, sorry. Yeah. 4, 5. And then if I go down to a smaller time frame so you guys can see it better, we had our A, B, C. And then we had our next wave of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? And then we had a very elongated A, B, C to touch the 786, just like when this, because this went crazy up. It went up to like 76 cents from 18 cents. That's a big move. And then we smashed back down to 18 cents. And that was our bottom. And we pulled back to that 2 level. Just like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we went from like 18 cents to $1.80. Crazy move. Nobody could have thought we came back here, but like we did, because we followed the A, B, C to retest the 786 and then that 2 level. This is like pure technical analysis here. So to complete this, you need the 3 of the 3, because you have your 1. Oh, sorry. So you have your 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you need your 5. And that's your first wave. So from this bear market bottom, where we need to finish the last wave, and that's the first wave of the big overarching wave, because then you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5, and it's not going to be up there, but like, you know what I mean? So like if I went down to here, and then that's what would complete a overall bull market top here. So it'd be like a 1, 2, 3, and that's what gets us up to $1,000, kind of like this scenario. And then we really go on a downtrend or sideways for a while until we do it all over again. So like that's really the mechanics of this broken down. And then there was one other thing that I saw, but I can't think about it right now. So that's going to be it, guys. That's exactly what we're watching for. I know this was a long video, but it's been a while. So we covered a lot, and keep your eye on the Discord channel for the signals and the individual coins. If you ever are not sure, just ask me and I'll let you know. And yeah, so this is what I've been watching. It's some exciting times ahead. We're going to have to watch it and see what's in store for the month of October. So that's it, guys, and I'll see you in the Discord.